From the moment that we were in New York and the announcement of that we joined the national team, USA Soccer men team, and I think we start to work in many things. Of course, by Zoom, by contact by phone, and of course watching games. We didn't have the opportunity to join all the players. That was the decision not to join or not to go to see any player because we didn't want to make or to create nothing wrong in between them. I think now the opportunity is going to be to meet them and talk in an individual way and then in a collective way, because all was rushed, because we were also, I need to tell you that yesterday we received the visa and we can fly Saturday because that was also a nightmare. But then we got the visa and now we can go. And also we were busy in all the paperwork, but now it's done. But yes, in the way that to create this good relationship, I think we were working in, because it's so important, is with all the staff that is in USA, to put all in settle all the principles and to be ready when the player arrive next week, and for us also. And yes, we were working in many things, and of course preparing the roster. And I think we really trust in all the opinion and all the information that we receive from the national team. That is why you are going to see a very similar, roster from last camp, for different reason, but also for reason that some players that are injured, re-injured, circumstance that maybe we cannot, call another player. But I think this one, every single player that is going to be on the squad deserves the opportunity to be with us. I think I am excited to see all, in place and face all, because I think all have different characteristics, and for sure it's really important to know their personality. Of course, if you ask me about Pulisic or Anthony Robinson or Stephen, I think player that or Tim Green that we already know, or we met in the pitch sometime when we were player again. And I think player that or McKennie that but I think it's really exciting moment for me. It's really exciting. I cannot wait to meet them and on the camp in Austin. And I think it's going to be fantastic, because what we want to feel from them is their commitment, their personality, their character, the capacity to adapt to a new era, a new way to approach the games. And I think that is going to be the key, the capacity for them to think in the collective, to think to give everything, to try to be better, like a national team, like a team. And of course, respecting that they are individual person, individual player, but I think is to try to create a very good atmosphere that all the players that will join us, they feel that the collective is the most important thing. I'm going to be honest. I met only one player, Anthony Robinson, because by coincidence they were in a dinner with his team in London, with Fulham, and I met him, and I say hello, and we were talking. And then because some player in Fulham that were my player in Tottenham and in Southampton, like Harry Reid and Sessegnon, and they introduced me Anthony. Yes, and was very good chat that we shared. This was the only player that I saw, and I am told by coincidence. I say, look, you are going to be an exception, because I didn't spoke with no one. I didn't call, but you are going to be the first. And I think you have the privilege to be the first to talk with me, Now, and no, I didn't want to, because we didn't have time. Being honest, I didn't have time. I don't want to sound call only for the reason to say, oh, I call some guy or another. I think all deserve the same way for us to operate. Of course, from now, after the Austin camp, we are going to be more in contact, and we plan to visit them, not only the player that are going to be in the roster for this camp, if not for the player that we want to see on place, and maybe we are thinking in the possibility for the future. Not only the players that are in Europe, also players that are playing in different countries, like in the MLS, of course. Player with potential, we are going to try to create these links and relationship for them to, to feel that we are going to care, and to look after them, and going to follow them, and to try to push, and to, to motivate that there is the possibility, is going to be the opportunity if they perform well. We were thinking a little bit in some player. I'm not going to give the names, because if not, it's not going to be fair. But I think yes, we start to follow some very good players that I think have the potential, and maybe are not now in the roster, but for sure they are going to be in the roster in the future. Yes, the most important is to find the right balance. Of course, that we have players that can score, like you say. I agree with you. I am excited to try to see them in action, and how we can find the best balance and the best way to play. We are going to, from the beginning, I think, is not to create too much, chaos. I think we are going to try to plan to play using two systems, 1-4-2-3-1 and 1-4-3-3, and from there to develop, our way to play, and see how we can adapt, and how we can create the partnership in between them, to find the best way to create a very good way to play, very exciting going forward, being protagonists. That is in the way that we want to perform, is in the way that we want to play. I think soccer need to be an exciting game for the USA citizen. I think they need to enjoy every time that they go to the stadium. I think we have amazing players, but the most important, they need to believe, because of course we can have too many offensive players that they can perform, but then it's two phases on the game that you need to control. With the ball, that for me is the principal objective, because I am a coach and we are coaching staff that we love to dominate the games, and of course to have the possession and to have the ball, because I think is the best way, first of all, to defend, and second, because if we want to win in the way that we want to win, is to play closer to the opposite goal. But then it's the phase when you lose the ball that we are going to be very, very, very demanding. When we lose the ball, we need to be desperate to recover as soon as possible, but we need to work like a team. In this moment, we need to show that we are a real team. All the team that wins and won titles, or you can see Argentina winning the Copa America or the World Cup. Of course, when they have the ball, play really well. But when they don't have the ball, they work like a team. They are really, really, really rough and the principles. And I think we need to enjoy when we don't have the ball, and try to recover and be really strong and very strong defensively. We need to be very competitive. It's not only to play football, nice football. It's to be very competitive. That for me is the objective. And some pundits, they were talking, because I follow, of course, the media now more in USA, more than you believe. And many of the professional pundits that they were talking, and I am agree that we need to create a very good exciting play to way. But when we don't have the ball, we need to defend, and we need to be strong, and we need to enjoy defending, because we need to be a team that not concede too many goals if we want to, to achieve the objective that on the end is 2026, is to preparing the team for the World Cup. Yes, we lose. We lose. I think, yes, was in Chicago and was so hot. I remember the temperature was so hot. I remember this game, really, really tough game. And yes, yeah, but I was very disappointed after the performance for us. But I think, yes, my experience like a player, for sure. I have very good memories, and it's going to be good next week to be in Austin. Yes, I exactly remember every single thing to the thing that I like, things that didn't like. I think that it's not easy to be a coach, but more difficult is to be a coach in a national team because players arrive from their clubs tired, traveling, with all the pressure that they suffer, in their clubs. And then it's important to find a good balance in between for them to have the possibility to. They need to be happy. They need to enjoy in the way that they will be in the camp. Being responsible, being professional also, that is the most important thing, but it's our responsibility to create a very nice environment. They need to feel that, arrive the camp, we are going to be all together in the national team, we are going to enjoy playing football. I need to play freedom. I need to enjoy playing. I need to, to help the national team to earn, all that we want. Is completely different, the management in between a club and in the national team, because our job is to analyze, to try to provide in an individual way the best tool for them. If players need to rest a little bit more, players need to work in a physical condition because they didn't play in the last months, players that play maybe too many games, maybe to reduce, to the physical, approach, and to work more in the emotional way or psychology way, or more about the tactical way. And I think it's going to be a real challenge, very exciting challenge for us. We are thinking in all this. We need to create the necessity, and we need to, for the player, need to feel that they need to be exciting when it's going to be the next camp, because we want to make the national team and enjoy and be all together and enjoy playing football.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.